BioWare just made a massive mistake in banning a content creator from EA Play because the content creator dared to criticize another content creator on YouTube, because apparently that's where we're at and how online discourse just isn't allowed anymore. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. And Ara, also known as Nuhre, who runs her channel mostly focused on a lot of Dragon Age. I've actually covered her before previously when she interviewed a QA tester that had insider information about Dragon Age the Veilguard and exposed a lot of the problems behind the scenes of the game before it even released, and everything seemed to show true. She's a channel that I have definitely taken a liking to because of her unabashed criticism and just speaking her mind without feeling like she has to have guardrails or red tape or caution around what she says. She just speaks freely, and apparently there's some people out there that aren't a big fan of that.
My face and my rook have been used in so many thumbnails on so many horrible, hateful videos that my comment section on most of my social media has just been a flood, a wash of either transphobia, fat shaming, people calling me a shrill or a shill or whatever it is, saying that I'm being paid by BioWare to say.
But you have been paid by BioWare. I mean, I don't have a contract. You are being paid. Like, I don't care. You see, they made fun of me. Oh, this is the internet. Yeah, you're gonna get made fun of. Like, you make fun of, like, oh, straight people and cisgender people, and welcome to the internet. I'm very sorry to tell you this, but the internet is never gonna change. The internet is where hopes and dreams come to die, Eddie. They're gonna make fun of me. They're gonna make fun of my appearance. And guess what? It's about growing the up and getting some thick skin.
Enter Eddie, also known as Unifadewalker. Many of you will recognize this creature as the person that kind of grew to fame out of nowhere because they had early access to the character creation in Dragon Age the Veilguard, and how they were so excited about showing off the trans scars in this game because apparently representation is so important.
And then this is the one that blew my mind. Top surgery scars are also included in this for all of our trans and non-binary rooks out there. I absolutely was blown away by this. It's beautiful to see the inclusion in the game and to see yourself represented in the game in this way.
Well, doing a little research further on this Eddie character, apparently they're big fans of BioWare and know Corinne Bush behind the scenes and even hang out with them. Corinne Bush, the director of BioWare's Dragon Age the Veilguard, is also trans. So these trans people hanging together don't like people being critical of them, and because of that, they are now working together to get them banned from EA platforms. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full and very exhaustive article going through everything I could find on the situation, and also some exclusive info that I got directly from Ara, also the person that runs the channel, Nuhre, because she is what I would consider a friend of the channel, someone who I respect and look forward to what they have coming down the pipe, because they don't hold back. They say exactly what's on their mind, and they're not afraid of what people think about them.
I hate you, Eddie, not because you're trans. We've been through this before, but because you're insufferable. You are the most obnoxious content creator I've ever seen in my entire life, and I don't even know how people watch you. I mean, they're not watching you anymore, but I know how they did.
According to Nuhre, the suspension isn't the result of any kind of legitimate violation of EA's terms of service, but instead the direct result of Eddie, Unifadewalker, crying to her connections at Electronic Arts. Eddie, in my opinion, is very clearly mentally troubled and has direct ties to other people at EA that are very clearly mentally troubled. And these people working together aren't a big fan of people having opinions about them because we need safe spaces. So let me give you the full backstory of what transpired here. Nuhre, who is Ara, has gained some very well-deserved recognition as of late for her insightful commentary and discussions covering the gaming industry, specifically BioWare and the Dragon Age the Veilguard game. Some of Ara's videos have even explored the seriously troubling patterns of favoritism among certain content creators, and she shined a spotlight on the behind-the-scenes dealings that many fans suspect but rarely get to see confirmed. What she discovered blows the lid off of everything. Ara has in the past criticized Unifadewalker, who has a reputation for stirring up controversy by pushing her trans agenda to the forefront and attempting to silence anyone who questions her. Most of you, like I said, are going to recognize this Eddie character from their infamous video that was cringely celebrating the ability to add the trans scars in the character creator screen. Well, Eddie is apparently a woman pretending to be a man. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even care to be bothered to figure that out because that doesn't matter to me. Whatever they are, it instantly displays red flags and warning signs to everyone that they have severe mental illness. Eddie not only has some questionable views, in my humble opinion, but now a willingness to weaponize their personal connections for retaliation. Eddie got early access to BioWare's game Dragon Age the Veilguard because they are an EA partner with close ties to Corinne Bush, who is also trans, and he is the game director of Dragon Age the Veilguard. And for some reason, an extremely influential figure these days at BioWare. On Twitter, Ara shared the information with the suspension will temporarily remove access to a game, part of a game, or your EA account when we notice activity on your EA account that goes against our terms of service or rules of conduct. They're usually timed and expire after a certain period of time. And as far as the infraction reasoning, they say it was inappropriate conduct, EA staff, partners, and sponsors. Eddie reportedly used their friendships at BioWare to influence behind the scenes and orchestrate Nuhre's suspension from EA Play. And the reason they gave is absolutely laughable. And from my research on the situation, I've seen that Nuhre has made a couple of videos talking about Eddie and why they disagree with their standpoint. And again, all's fair in love and war when it comes to content creation. I've said this many times. People make videos about me trashing me all the time. Have at it. Let the people decide. But when you start complaining to the higher-ups to get people suspended, it says a lot more about you. I spoke to Nuhre in DMs, and she said it was okay to share this message with you guys, and I feel like it's important to get it out there. She said, Eddie hates me. He has been trying to intimidate me by threatening cease and desist letters when I reacted to a couple of his videos. Then I got equally as big as him, and that didn't work anymore. He's been trying to get me deplatformed with no success, but he has direct ties with EA. He is an EA partner, got flown to the Veilguard camp despite not even having 10,000 followers at the time, and has talked directly on multiple occasions to Corinne Bush, Veilguard's CEO, which it's the game director, but whatever. He's pulled his connections to get me suspended from EA Play for 7 days, probably by claiming targeted harassment, transphobia, and hateful attitude. And Ara continued, whatever he said to them, it only warranted a 7-day ban, so it wasn't even good enough to get me permanently banned. All my criticism has been over YouTube and Twitch. I only use the EA app for single-player games, which is fascinating to me because now we're making the leap of if a content creator criticizes another content creator, EA is going to look at that and say, we're banning you from our platform that has nothing to do with where you were criticizing someone in the first place? Does anyone not see the problem here? This whole situation isn't just the whole one creator versus another thing. It sets a very dangerous precedent where content creators with corporate connections can and will use those ties to punish critics. If this gets left unchecked, it would discourage other people from speaking out against industry practices, ultimately stifling any kind of accountability in the industry, which honestly would create an ecosystem of toxic positivity in the content creator world, where you just have to be happy and positive all the time. Otherwise, you fear that your account is going to be taken away from you or banned permanently, depending on what somebody at the access of EA or wherever else would look at you and say, yeah, we don't really like what this person's saying about us. We're just gonna ban them now. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do moving forward. That's a problem. Ara's suspension from EA Play has sparked a huge outrage on online supporters, and everyone is seeing this as a blatant attempt to stifle her voice. Eddie has now become infamous for their actions that you do not do against another creator, and this is a way to completely destroy any ability to grow your channel in the future. People are gonna look at you, Eddie, and say, you know what? I wanted to give you a chance, but after this comes out, nope, I'm done with you. Even if I felt like people were being hard on you or a little overcritical of you, your career on YouTube is worthless. I mean, some would argue it always was, but doing a move like this solidifies it. So yeah, this suspension that EA and BioWare gave to Ara is 7 days and will pass and everything will go back to normal. But it is extremely concerning based off of a content creator complaining to mommy and daddy Corpo, and Corpo saying, okay, we got you back, don't worry, bro. And they suspend someone from a completely different platform for having videos just criticizing the person. And I've watched the videos. They're pretty straightforward criticism. Is it a little over the top sometimes? Sure, I guess. But I mean, well within her right to be critical. Just like Eddie could be critical of her. It's what you do when you go out on a public platform. Keep it in bounds above the belt, perfectly fine, being critical of people. Problem is, these people try to take offense to everything and make it sound way worse than it really is, just so they can get agendas pushed. And right there lies the problem. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Check out Ara's channel. I will link it in the description below. Also, the full article with a lot more information, screenshots, Twitter conversations, everything else from Ara, because this is a very big story. It's very deep. It goes very far. And if you guys want more of it, check out the article in the link below. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, you stay smashing.
Upset because trans people are happy. People.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Every single time. We have to make a bingo for these shills, for the toxic positivity community. Because it's not like I've made video after video after video explaining with examples in-game of why this game is ass, Eddie. And not have I once said that this game is gonna fail because of the top surgery cars. So stop being a victim. Grow up, dude. You chose this. You chose this live. You did this. You decided to start YouTube and a Twitch. You did this. You decided to do this. To accept money and engagement and views. You did this to yourself. So stop playing the victim card because it doesn't work. It's 2024. No one gives a shit about you.
Smash the J.